Well, spring brings a lot of things, and for many high school students, that includes standardized tests like the SATs.
And college prep expert and founder of IvyWise, Katherine Cohen, is here to talk us through the test and to give us some tips on how to take them. Welcome.
Good morning.
I'm nervous already.
I know.
Being here makes me nervous.
Starting to sweat here.
We're done and we don't have to do it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so let's start with some of the new changes to the SATs, and what are they exactly, and how will they affect us?
Well, the new changes aren't coming out until the spring of 2016, so that affects this year's freshman class, so the kids now don't need to worry about that. But we are seeing actually that it's going to go back to the old scoring, probably what we remember. It's now going to be back out of 1,600 points. Right now it's out of 2,400 points, and they're going to a computer-based test. They're trying to focus more on analytical and critical thinking skills and less on memorization of esoteric vocabulary words.
Okay.
They're eliminating what's called the guessing penalty. Right now, if you guess an answer, if you get the answer wrong, you get a quarter of a point off. And the mandatory essay is now optional.
Now, do you still recommend that kids do the essay, though? I mean, will it help?
Well, it depends. I think we're going to have to see, again, when the new test, we're going to see a preview on April 16th. But I know so many colleges that don't even use the writing section today. So they're going to look more at your English grades and how you write in your essays on your applications.
Well, how important are the scores to getting into the college of your choice?
Well, it really depends on the college. If they do require an SAT or ACT, then yes, they're part of the whole thing that they're going to be looking at. But the rigor of your course load and your grades are much more important. Colleges are more concerned about how you're doing day in and day out in the classroom over 4 years than how you did for 4 hours on a Saturday morning.
Because people get nervous. I mean, just for example, I took my SATs. I was on Vicodin. I had a knee surgery. No, honestly, and I was nervous. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. I ended up doing really well, but still, it was that anxiety and that anticipation that really went into it. I thought I was going to be terrible. So, you know, a lot of kids don't do well with standardized tests.
Well, yes, and there are things that they can do. And we tell students, if you're not a great test taker, there are over 800 colleges that are test optional. You can find those at fairtest.org. So that might be a great option for you. But for the schools that require them, you need to make sure that your SAT or your ACT score falls within the averages, or you might not be considered.
Okay, what would you say your top 2 tips for prepping for these exams are?
Well, my biggest tip is practice. Practice, practice, practice. If you take at least 8 practice SATs or ACTs before you go in for the real thing, and you do it under time conditions, you're going to get a sense of the pacing, and you'll know where your weak areas are. And I always tell kids, practice in an area where there's some noise, because there's going to be ruffling of papers and kids shaking their legs and things like that. So to try to do it under real test-taking conditions. My other tip is for test takers right now, for the current SAT, before it changes, you want to make sure you limit your guessing because of that guessing penalty, because you get that quarter of a point off for a wrong answer. So unless you can use process of elimination to eliminate one answer choice, then you can guess in that case.
Or when in doubt, guess C? I guess that doesn't work.
If you can eliminate one, guess.
Okay, so you brought some test questions, and you brought some samples, and you're going to put Jill and I to the test. So let's see how we do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we've got some math and some English ones.
Oh, gosh.
So we start with the math
I'm
question.
terrible at math. Here we go.
I didn't get time to prep on this.
We didn't give you a test prep course yet. Okay, so if P times Q times R equals 1, and R times S times T equals 0, and S times P times R equals 0, which of the following must be 0? P, Q, R, or S?
Okay, I know the answer.
What is it?
I do. It has to be S.
I'm going to say.
Because S is in both the last 2, so it's 0.
It's got to be.
Very good.
It's
you
S.
got it right. Exactly.
Okay, I'm terrible at math.
Because 0
Keep
times
going.
anything is 0.
Right, okay.
So here's a sentence. Here's one where you actually have to figure out which part of the sentence is incorrect. If you were to work at least 4 hours a day on the project, we would complete it in a shorter time and with less problems. Now, is there an error in the sentence, or is there no error?
I need more time.
Today on the
Work
project,
at least
we would
4 hours a
complete it
day.
in a shorter time.
R or E? What?
I would go with either C. No, I think C.
I'm going with C because when in doubt, I go for C.
Yeah, I'm going to say C.
In this case, the answer is D.
Yeah.
It's less problems. And this is a pet peeve of mine. This is a grammar question.
What is it?
You need to know the difference between less and fewer. Right? There's less coffee in your mug, but there are fewer problems, fewer things that you can count. Things that you can count, you use fewer. Less, you use for amounts. Do we have time for another one?
Give me another one. Give me another one. I want to at least get
another one. Okay, so it's a sentence completion. The success of the business venture blank his expectations. He never thought that the firm would prosper. So it's either confirmed his expectations, belied his expectations, nullified his expectations, or fulfilled his expectations.
Belied.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great one.
Got it.
Yay!
Yay! We win! Yay!
And we have one more. It's a math question.
Yep.
So if 9.5 is P% of 95, what is P% of 10? Is it 10?
That's 1. You just move the damn decimal over, right?
0.95 or 0.1?
I would say B. Yeah.
B, so B, 1.
B is the correct answer.
B is in 1. Yeah.
Great job.
That was an easy one. That one you gave to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
Katherine, thank you for coming in and for all the useful information. And good luck to everyone out there who's taking the test.